important foundation. Peace means absence of violence, stability, harmony, and constructive coexistence in society. Now, activism is the act of working to achieve social change, especially in an organization. Now, ladies and gentlemen, why am I saying it? We see that youth form the backbone of Uganda's social, economic, and political future for activism, innovation, and demographic strength, which makes the most powerful drives of Ugandan peace. Now we are saying that youth are the greatest. Now we are looking at the status quo of Uganda. In Uganda, we see that the youth in Uganda are doing their best to see that there is a lot of peace. Are we not youth here? We are seated here. We are trying to promote peace in Uganda. We are the youth. We see a lot of associations being formed. For example, we see Arua City Youth Council, which is, of course, working in Arua City to promote peace. That means the youth are the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda. Now we are saying that our parameters is Uganda because we are saying that this resolution proudly and strongly affects Uganda. So we are looking at Uganda. Now we are saying that our house is also Uganda because it affects Uganda. And our parameter is also Uganda. Now, ladies and gentlemen, basing on what I've said, on our points, we're saying that youth drive peace through activism and social movements. And the youth also, through youth innovation, it creates economic stability and foundation for peace. Youth make efforts to attend campaigns, conferences, peace weeks, and many other youth things that have been organized and the youth are attending. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to base our debate on how, why, and what. When we're saying what, we're saying that young Ugandans are the forefront of peace-building activism in civil engagement. This is what I'm trying to say. Now we are looking at 2005 in Lira, whereby African Youth Initiative Network was formed by the youth who were being affected by the LDR, the Lord's Resistant Army. They were being affected and their futures were being destroyed. So they stood together as the youth to see that they do the best to bring their voices out. And why are we saying that the youth are not working? Now Team Affirmative will come and say that the youth are not doing a lot of work. Team Affirmative, I've already corrected you, and you better not come here to confuse us by saying that youth are not doing anything. Now what I'm trying to say is that also we have Stella Nyanzi, who is one of the human rights activists, and she's a youth, by the way. Why are we saying youth are not doing anything? Youth know their rights. That's why they are coming up with very many initiatives, very many policies to see themselves. We have youth MPs in the parliament who are trying all the best to see that there is a lot of peace in Uganda. Are the youth MPs not working? Are we not having conferences? We had very many conferences. For example, in St. Mary's Joffrey this holiday, we had the Red Cross camp, and which was attended by the youth between the age gap of 15 to 35. These were all youth. Why are we saying youth are not promoting peace? In that, there was a lot of unity, there was a lot of coexistence. People were able to do poems, activities, dramas, and so on. They were able to coexist with each other to see that there is peace in Uganda, even if in Arua. Of course, Arua is in Uganda. Now, we're also saying that the youth of Arua do a lot. We see Robert Chagulanyi. When he started being an activist, he was a youth, of course, though he's now out of the youth gap. But he's still engaging the youth, saying that the youth do a lot to see that there is a lot of peace in Uganda, ladies and gentlemen. Let us not be confused by Team Negative coming to tell us that youth don't do anything. The youth are proudly promoting peace in Uganda. As I had already said, 75% of people in Uganda are youth, and they're trying all their best to see that there is peace in Uganda. We have a lot of things being done by the youth. We have trainings attended by the youth. We have movements being formed by the youth. So let us not be confused by saying that youth are not doing anything. I'm about to stop, and I've already stopped. Ready for cross-examination.
Thank you so much. My dear sister, you are talking of youth being the strongest backbone of this country, mighty country, which I say it is not right. If they could be the one, you talk of MPs who are youth in the parliament, but I'm seeing MPs that are doing nothing to the cities or the district they are assigned for. Why is it that the roads are disorganized? Take, for instance, you are living from Arua to you. Road is tarmac, Maram. What is the use of those youth now? Since you are saying that the strongest, they could make sure that that part there has been tarmac, provide is a transportation.
Thank you so much. May I answer you? Now you're talking of roads being improved. Let me tell you one thing. In my place where I stay, the current MP, which is Honorable, what is his name? Honorable Atimali Jackson, he has done very many things by providing uniforms and whatsoever for the youth groups that are in my place, which is promoting coexistence. You're talking of roads not being well. Can someone who is not peaceful move on roads? Of course, roads, if they are well and peaceful are not having peace, those roads will automatically be destroyed. Now we are looking at how the budget goes. These MPs are trying their best. These roads were well. Now here we don't blame the MPs because they are already putting their voices so that they see that the roads are okay. But we see that the roads are destroyed. This road you're talking about, when you go from Kuluva, when you're going to those ends of Mari where the road's not okay, they were okay. Of course, we look at other natural things. The roads of course have to be destroyed. And right now the budget has been passed. Their roads are going to be made. So we are saying youth are promoting peace. They had already done it. The MPs had passed it and they're going to pass it again because of course when something is old, it has to get destroyed. It has to be repaired. So the roads are going to be repaired. Don't worry. Next.
You have not answered me right. That's the fact. If you talk of peace, peace is not only for the city. It is all for the entire country. Currently, as I talk, there are wars in some districts. For instance, Yumbe. Is that peace?
Let me tell you, in the recent speech being passed by Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who is the excellency of the country, of course, he said he is going to deal with those people personally, those who are already causing chaos. Now, when you go right now, you find the police already deployed there in Yumbe, already trying to control the situation. So what I'm trying to tell is that youth are doing their best. Of course, even the police you're going to tell me about are promoting peace. Those police, some of them are youth. I don't know, 35 years below 15. They are the youth. They're also trying to promote peace by promoting law and order in Yumbe. So the police already there. You can go and check for yourself.
But I'm not seeing peace there. If the police are there to maintain laws and order, I'm not seeing anything coming out of it. And you said it is true, that's not peace. That's the most interesting part. You accepted that that is not peace, which means there's no peace in the country.
You cannot expect a place to be soberly peaceful. Of course, problems have to arise. Now, you are telling me there's already a problem. Yes, I accept. Of course, there is a problem, but it's already being handled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, the presiding officer, the body of juries, the two antagonistic parties who are fighting for their rights, and you, my dear beloved audience. Good morning. My name is Abrar Adidi Hassan Famai, a member from the Negeta side. I've come here to oppose the motion which says that youth are the strongest pillar of sustainable peace in Uganda. It's not. It's supposed to be. Youth are not the strongest pillar of sustainable peace in Uganda. The reason why I state that, I have some evidence to prove that. Why I say it? Because youth, they are choosing leaders which are corrupt. Like, for instance, if a leader who has money, they will just go for you. Because of your money, they will say you are a good leader. Take example, youths who are here in West Nile, they depend on money. They need just money so that you give them money so they will apply for you. They don't care if you are corrupt or not corrupt. The second point is use of drugs leading to misunderstandings among youths. You can check here, they like using of those opiates, what they bring corruption. You ever heard that a youth killed someone? They fight among themselves because of the drugs. This is why I say that. Now, our house is 11th Parliament plan to empower the youth to be the strongest pillar of sustainable peace in Uganda. Time frame, 2 years. One for planning, one for acting. So I would like to rest my case. Thanks.
so much. My dear opponent, you came here and talked about youths like drugs, and they're bringing many things up. I want to ask you a question here. Can you account for the youths that have maybe like the drugs that have abused? Can you account like around? Is it possible? It's just a simple question. Can you account for it?
You know why I say that? In some, even areas, if you go, you will know that some youth there, they smoke opium. Always the smell come out.
Okay, first listen. Okay, I want a yes or a no. Is it possible for you to account for it, like around you? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much, Edison.
The first two debaters have just said it out there. We're coming live from Host Hub Innovation Center. This is the International Peace Day celebrations. The judges are taking note of what the two schools are tussling.
Begin my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, team. Strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda. Why are we saying this? We're saying this because youth make efforts to attend conferences and peace talks, most especially if we take in the Greater West Nile. There are a lot of conferences organized by churches, organized by schools, organized by very many different NGOs, and youth are taking part in this. And what is the impact of all these conferences in their life? You see, when these youth go out there, they go and influence more of the youth to come and see what is the use of being peaceful in a country. What is the use of coexisting among ourselves? This is what they do. Because we have, our first speaker already came here saying that what? The greatest population in Uganda, 75%, are the youth. Now, if this influence is going to go across the country, how are you going to tell me that youth are not promoting sustainable peace in the country? How are you going to do that? The next speaker coming forth, come and tell us how you are going to tell us. How is it not the youth promoting peace? If it is not the youth who are now promoting the peace, you have to tell us that. And you have to give us some examples. Where are they staged? You have to give us that. Now, another reason as to why I also come here is because the first speaker said, the third speaker from the negating side said, most MPs in the villages, most especially, they are the youth. But I disagree with that. That's a very big lie. If you check in most villages in this country, not many MPs in the villages are youth. Most of them are the elderly. It is in the city where you see that most of the MPs are the youth because they want to promote employment in the city. Because the greatest population, if you take in the city, are the youth. Now, we're saying that the villages are not developing yet. We are saying that the youth are the ones promoting the peace. Now, when you go to the villages, it is these elderly people who want self-satisfaction for themselves. Since I am from the village, let me get this post so that I can upgrade my family. I can go to a greater level. They end up doing nothing. Instead of making up the road, bringing up factories, health centers and all that, use the money for your own self. You buy yourself cars. You build yourself a luxurious house. Every good thing for yourself so that you get the fame. You be popular in the village. That is what they do. So you're wrong on that. It's not the youth in the village who are the MPs and they're not promoting peace. Then you talked about a scenario in Yumbe. My dear opponents, you have to know that there is peace in that place. The government is trying its best, using the youth representatives in the parliament to promote peace in the place. It is not that there is no peace. Peace has been reigning there before. As the first speaker has said before, you can't live in a place without peace. As I said before, all the questions I've asked, you have to come back and ask. I rest my case. Thank you. And ready for cross-examination.
St. Mary's Ediofe is getting ready for cross-examination from Naja.
Just straight. Do you know what's currently happening in Yumbe? one. Secondly, then why is it that, though you said most of the MPs across the country are youths, but I guess you are wrong. Then why is it that they are not developing the parts of the villages? Why are they only concentrating within the towns and cities?
Brother, I have 2 ears. Maybe you pardon one by one. Pardon your questions one by one, please.
Why is it that the youth MPs you spoke of are not developing parts of the villages across the country? Why only within the cities and towns?
You got me wrong. I told you most people applying in the villages are not the youth. The youth are aiming in the city. You know how we, the youth, will have fancy things, right? So we end up going to the city instead of being in the village. So that I was blaming the elderly in the village, right? The MPs who are not developing the villages. Next question, please.
Good enough. You said it's the elders who are
They are
MPs
not
in the villages.
promoting.
Next question is: Do you know what's currently taking place in Yumbe?
Exactly. Very
What's the
well.
cause, and who are behind it?
It's a religious chaos between the Muslims and the Christians. We know very well Yumba is a place very well known for Muslims, right? And it is a belief for them that they are not supposed to eat pork. So they are planning to close on all the pork joints in Yumbe, which the Christians also want to benefit from. So this has brought in chaos in between the Christians and the Islams. That is why there is chaos.
Now, if the youths are to be enough in able to think that, yes, it's true, selling pork in Yumbe district is something which other side can earn living, right? Then why are they doing it so? And it's the youths.
That is a religious misunderstanding.
Definitely, youths are not responsible for promoting peace.
We look
and
at a
total
greater
peace in
extent,
Uganda. Thank
youth
you.
are the greatest sustainable peace promoters. Thank you.
Yes, the debate is going on, and of course, we'll be expecting the second speaker from St. Mary's Diofe Girls, from Najam Muslim, who is already on stage.
Thank you so much for the second sounds. I go straight and I start my speech by saluting the gathering. I salute all of you, my dear beloved audience. We are debating under the topic, youth are the strongest pillars in this mighty country, whereby I said it is not true. Reason being, youth, we have to empower them with skills so that they get that opportunity to make sure the world, the city. Then my sister talked of the MPs being youth in the city only. Then why is it that they're refusing the village since they want to develop the city? That one, there will be time for it. Then one, they are to have skilled. These elderly youth, elderly MPs, that the one equipping this youth with that knowledge so that they develop. But instead, they're insisting, whereby, take for example, we call him that noob guy. I call it a guy because he's a youth. He's the one spoiling Uganda. Because our president is trying to make peace in the country, but he's coming with his own opinions, which is making Uganda downward. And they're saying youth are developing the country, which I disagree. These youth, they do abuse drugs. They are the one you'll get in the street. They are the one you'll get that they're in that group of mob justice whereby they're killing people in the city anyhowly. Then, if they are youth to develop the city, why is it that the mobs, they are to come and kill the elderly people. So that, why? So from there, I believe that youth are not the strongest pillar of this mighty country. I believe the elderly people are the one developing this country better than those youth who are coming with their corruption. One time I was in Kampala, the youth in Kampala, they were just trying to demonstrate that they don't Museveni. And Mighty Muse came with his own order and said, I don't want to hear this noise again. If they could be keen enough, they could also back up since they are youth. Why are they not promoting the peace in other countries? I also talk of a place, Karamoja. Karamoja is also one of the places where youth are the one always doing this nonsense thing to the city, or to the district, to what? Yeah, they are the one going for raids, they go for raid, they go and look for people's trouble, they come, causing chaos between the neighborhood districts. So, allow me stop here by gathering, by telling my fellow audience, youth are not the strongest pillar of this mighty country. Thanks.
Okay, my dear speaker, thank you so much. Let me first start with the judges. Judges, I'm very sorry. I hope you have already noted that Team Negative has not accounted for how the youth are doing this. That should be noted. Now, my dear speaker, you came here and told us that they call him Chagulanyi. He's a youth. How old is he?
Of course, the current youth, they are calling him youth, our president.
No, we are looking at...
Yeah.
No, remember when I gave my first speech, I said the youth are the people between the age of 15 to 35. That is according to the Constitution of Uganda. Now, how old is Robert Chagulanyi?
Then why is it that you people are calling him our power?
No,
he's our leader.
He's been alluded as a youth, but trust me, Robert Chagulanyi is already out of the youth gap. He is no longer a youth. Even if he's causing chaos, that means now he's causing chaos because he's not a youth. He is inciting the youth who are very innocent to do a lot of chaos in Uganda, yet he's not a youth. That is one thing you should note. Next question. Now, we talked of Yumbe. Yeah, the issue is still dwelling on Yumbe. Yes, I accept. Now, Yumbe, are you aware that one of the sheikhs told the youth he is the one sending them to go and destroy the pork sites? People can bear witness with me. Are you aware? He is a sheikh. He is a sheikh. He is no longer a youth. But he said it in TikToks that youth go and destroy pork centers because we as Muslims, we don't do anything with pork. So he is the one inciting. We know that pork is something to be eaten. He is the one misleading the youth, telling them to go and cause chaos, kill people, and so on. Yet he's not a youth. Are you aware of that?
Then by that time, I need the youth to be coming in now. Why are they not coming in? Why are they coming in that form? Since they want to develop the country.
I told you youth are between the age of 15 to 25. These are people who can easily be confused in their minds by elders. That is what the Sheikh has already done. Thank you, you have answered that. Now, about youth initiatives. We are saying that the youth are doing a lot of involvements, engagements to see that there is a lot of peace. We see that a lot of projects are being done by the youth. If you go to the town, you see that most people who are doing work right now are the people between the age of 15 to 35. Are they not promoting the economy? Now we are saying that sustainable peace, because when the economic status is stable, there is a lot of peace. People will not say people will not do anything because they are earning money. So one thing I'd like to tell you, my dear speaker, that you can go and sit down, but what I'm trying to tell you is that youth are the strongest pillars of peace in Uganda. Thank you.
I disagree.
Heated debate, and of course, St. Mary's Idiofe Girls taking on Nadza Senior Secondary School. It is the Peace Day celebrations 2025.
Thank you so much. I start my debate at you. I love you. You are youth are the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda. Now, I our dear opponent, people came here and talked about drugs, about the use bringing in drugs. That we came here and our second speaker came here and answered the people. That people never account for it. And until now, we're waiting for people. People say they are abusing drugs. But now, we're expecting from people, how do you want the youth to do the thing? You never get for us alternative. Yes, we accept some of the youth. And even let's talk about this one here. I think if they take all of us here, only a few people, there is no one here can take what, who can drink alcohol. There is no one who can see these ones are all responsible people. We can see them. This one is a youth. You can take, these are all youth. And when you're talking about what, drugs or what, we agree with that. And we're talking about here, we came and talked about youth drive peace through social movement. And we talked about the what, how, and the what part. We came to talk about the what part. Youth they are the front page. You know that the youth are the background of peace in Uganda. 75% of the work population in Uganda, these are youth. And you see, these 75%, they all contribute to the peace in Uganda. Now I want to take us to this, and we talk about the why part, because their number, these youths, they have energy. Can a grandfather come here and maybe bring for us things? This man cannot manage, he's not having the energy. That's why you think that youths, they are the best people, they are the strongest pillars. That's why I brought this way, but you said that let us accept this, that youths are the strongest pillars. We're talking about this thing. And what about the wife, the how part? We have evidence to give people, they think it was already connected, and talk about this. Let's bring this to the battle. And people came here and talked about our MPs. People talk about the roads in Arua, in Yumba, and every single thing. I want to bring for this thing. It's a process. You guys, it's a process. You cannot just continue and make a road in one way. Is it possible? It's not possible. This thing is a process. It's a process. That's why it's not the Arua of today. Is it the same Arua of 5 years ago? It is not the same. Arua have changed. Why? Because our MPs are doing something. Not the MP of Koboko. That is our image Charles. This man has donated blood in the health center. And are you talking about the MPs are not doing something? This people are doing something. You let's do research. These are students. I know they bring up these students. And let's bring this into evidence here. Except from people, we came here and asked people a question about the Yumbe staff. People were not able to bring for us. I'm just doing this thing out. We asked them about the staff of Yumbe, and my dear one, even they don't have any information, they just came here and talked about it, but they don't have any information. They're trying to blackmail us, but no, it's not possible. It's not possible. And let's talk about like youth innovation activities ability of a foundation for peace. Youth are lead entrepreneurship. You know that most youth, you know that I know unemployment is there in Uganda, but I think employment in Uganda nowadays, because youth are trying to bring out entrepreneurship. Why is it they teach us EPS in schools? Why? Because they want to teach us skills. And find these youth, they go and attend conferences. They give alternatives. And these not youth, they give us alternatives. They're trying to boost up confidence. Let's take this. Youth are the basic. They are the foundation. And I'll take with this. Once the foundation. Oh, please, just a minute. I just like to conclude. A minute, please. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm telling you this. Youth are the foundation. They are the foundation. And once the foundation is collapsed, it is not possible that the thing is going on. My people, I want to understand that youth are the strongest pillars of peace in Uganda. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Don't wonder why we don't have questions for her. In Kalpapa debate, a third speaker only summarizes and he or she has no interview. Thank you. My name is Abdurrahman Caesar. Coming to summarize what has been aired out by the first and second speaker from the Gator side. Before I summarize everything, let me direct my few points towards my affirmatives. You wanted us to come up with an idea. How are we going to make sure that we bring the youth out of the ignorance of them not being responsible, the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda? My first speaker spoke of our plan, which is to empower the youth to be the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda. One, through Toxos, and which has been mentioned clearly. We had a time frame for that, 2 years, 1 year for planning, and 1 year for acting. Allow me to go straight forward to her points. One, choosing leaders who are corrupt. He went ahead by explaining that So she went ahead by explaining that youths are after money. Leaders, those who have money, they're always after them. And if you take across the country, it's the youths who are the current leaders and they are corrupt. One, the area where I'm living, when they are nominating for LC1, a youth contested with an elder. Though he was rich, the youths were all after him, but he's a corrupt guy. But the elders who are well educated know they can view from how you look and they can also describe your future. They were able to convince the rest of the community members to eliminate whatever the youths are coping for. So you can't tell me that the youths can be responsible and the strongest pillars to bring sustainable peace in Uganda without the knowledge of the elders. Use of drugs. I hope all the gathering can remember what took place last year across the Arua city, whereby mob justice were able to move around, grabbing for youths, being imprisoned, even others are being killed. I think we're aware by that. And what are those? They have been caused by drugs. These youths, they smoke opium, they abuse drugs, they overuse them, and currently, if you go to San Siro, you'll get them. Thank you. Only 30 seconds. The second speaker spoke of Karamoja, whereby youths are after raiding and after looking for people's troubles across the country. That's well known. Chagulani, you were saying that Chagulani is out of the age limit of youths, but I can remember the first speaker saying that, the second speaker from affirmative side saying that Robert Chagulani is a youth and currently he is encouraging the youths to take decision making across the country. Thanks. Conclusion, I only beg three of you not to deceive the gathering that youths are the strongest pillars and responsible for sustainable peace in Uganda. Youths are not responsible, are not the strongest pillars to bring sustainable peace in Uganda. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much, the affirmatives and the negators. After listening to this debate, there is hope. There is hope for a brighter Uganda. So let's give them a hand clap. This has been beautiful. This has been eye-opening. And in the spirit of the brotherhood, I would like to welcome both sides to exchange a handshake as a sign of peace. You can hug if they are huggable. Thank you so much. So we are going to take 5. You can go and stretch. You can go and say hello to a friend. You can go and greet an elder that you know. And after 5 minutes, we will be back to look at the results and the resolution from today's debate. So let's take 5 minutes. Thank you.
Looking for top quality uniforms, corporate wear, or custom printing that speaks excellence? Welcome to West Nile Garment and Printing Service Limited. We specialize in school uniforms, corporate attire, protective wear, embroidery, and screen printing, all crafted with precision, passion, and durability you can trust. At West Nile Garment, every stitch tells your story. Because your brand deserves the best, visit us today at Pro 35, Third House, Rhino Camp Road, or call 0392 548 308. West Nile Garment and Printing. Brand better, dress smart, print quality.
Introducing Host TV, your ultimate advertising destination. Get 50% discount offer today. Elevate your brand with Host TV. Available on YOTV, Afro Mobile, and Host Media app. We offer commercial advertising, live event broadcasting, streaming service, social media marketing, publication on dailywestnile.info. We are Host TV. Connect with us on all social media platforms. Host TV, exploring.
Welcome to Dreamland Hotel, where luxury meets convenience. Experience the perfect blend of comfort and sophistication at our premier hotel. Step into your home away from home, where elegance and comfort converge. Our spacious and beautifully appointed rooms and suites are designed to meet your every need. Relax and unwind in our tranquil accommodations, complete with all amenities to ensure a restful and rejuvenating stay. Hosting a business event? Look no further. Our hotel offers cutting-edge conference facilities that are sure to impress your guests. From intimate board meetings to large-scale conferences, our versatile spaces and professional staff will ensure your event is a resounding success. Dive into a world of relaxation and bliss at our magnificent swimming pool. Bask in the warm sunshine as you lounge by the water or take a refreshing dip. Our poolside oasis offers the perfect escape where you can unwind and soak up the serene atmosphere. Embark on a culinary journey at our exquisite restaurant, where flavors from around the world come together to tantalize your taste buds. From gourmet delicacies to local favorites, our talented chefs create culinary masterpieces that will leave you craving for more. Unwind and socialize at our vibrant bar and lounge, the perfect spot to enjoy handcrafted cocktails, fine wines, and a wide range of beverages. And let us take care of your every detail, making your time with us truly unforgettable.
choices. Stream big and save bigger with your TV channels app. Enjoy your favorite shows, movies, comedy, local hits, kids content and sports for just 1,000 shillings daily plus a 4GB data bonus. Better still, for just 2,500 shillings, grab the weekly bundle with 10GB streaming data and a 3-day free trial. Don't wait. Download the OTV channels app now and take control of your entertainment. Pause, rewind, record, play anytime, anywhere. Stream big, save bigger with your TV channels.
To wrap this up quickly, so as you're still talking to yourselves, please be walking back to your seats so that in the next 1 minute we are ready to hear what we have to say.
Est-ce que dans une autre vie, j'ai été enfant de Gouma? Dieu, mon créateur, dans une autre vie.
Please, guys, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Let's take our seats. So as we enjoy, I will just be giving remarks and on what the debate was about and how it went. So the debate's motion was, youth are the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda. That was the motion. On both sides, I don't know if we understood the motion, but it seems like we missed out the part of sustainable peace in Uganda, and we majorly focused on what the leaders are doing for us and what they're not doing for us. It's more like we were lamenting about what they're not doing and what they're doing, especially on roads and things like that, development, elections. And I appreciate both sides for giving good examples. That means you really researched. You all defined peace I don't know if you understood sustainability, but sustainability means something that is always there. How are you going to sustain it as youth? And we also expected that as youth who are debating the motion on youth as the strongest pillars of sustainable peace in Uganda, you would give us good examples on how you as a person and a student, who is a youth, by the way, is doing towards promoting peace, or what they are not doing to promote peace in their school or community, because it later adds up to the entire country. Okay? So we expected to hear more of what you youth are doing in your different spaces, because I believe you all are leaders in one way or another. And since you're students, you coexist in school. How do you manage to live peacefully, other than you lamenting on what the leaders are doing and what they're not doing? We wanted to more hear about what you're doing and how is it sustainable towards keeping peace in Uganda. Okay? So yeah, those are the things I have, and I hope that as we live here, we've learned something, that we are the carriers of peace. This morning, as I was interviewing some of you, I heard one of you say that peace starts with me. So I hope you carry it on. Do not start saying, that leader did not make the road. And I know that peace is a cut across of everything that happens within the country, but what are you in your small way doing to promote peace? Okay? So that's one thing, that's one takeaway we are going to take from here is, what are you doing to promote peace as a youth, as a student, as a child? What are you doing in your community, in your school, as your head girl, your prefect? What are you doing about that, okay? So let's take on that, and let's hope that you've taken the fact that peace starts with you as a person, and do not call out other people before you do it yourself.
Hello, people. So, the affirmatives, good job, powerful ladies, brilliant. I got confused at the point where you acknowledged Robert Chagulanyi as youth. Sorry, you said Robert Chagulanyi was not youth, but you said Stella Nyanzi was youth. Stella Nyanzi is way older than Robert Chagulanyi. Yeah. So there are points where the facts did not coordinate, and that played to your disadvantage. And then there are many of you, if not all of you, kept saying the youth are doing their best. And I kept waiting to listen to what is their best. What is their best that they are doing? You mentioned associations, you mentioned them joining, making the initiative to join conferences. But you see, taking a horse to the river does not mean the horse is going to drink the water. Yeah? There's a possibility they are attending to get only the transport refund. So if they attend these conferences, what are they doing when they return from the conferences? That could have been a very strong point for you. And then there is one of you that said, like here in Arua, Robert Chagulanyi. I was like, Robert Chagulanyi is doing work in Arua? Okay. Yeah, the facts need to be checked. I loved that you continuously asked for accountability from the negators, which at a point, some of them tried to give it, others failed to give it, but the fact that young people are at a point where they can continuously ask questions about accountability is something really nice. Then the negators. Thank you so much for being brilliant. Thank you so much for coming up to the task and choosing to be the people that people don't want to listen to. You know, our society does not want to listen to people who say no all the time. But you took on the task. I think that the few points that you gave, the few questions that you asked, the question about drugs that many people don't want to talk about right now, and yet drugs are actually eating up young people, is a question that you posed. The question, the point of young people electing older leaders, do we have the statistics to that? Because according to research, young people don't actually want to involve themselves in elections. So do we have the figures? Do we have the statistics to support that? Then the fact that many young people are causing ruckus more than the adults. They're the ones that are causing the mob justice, the fights, the theft, and all that. Okay, so if the young people, if the youth are not the pillars, then who is the pillar? I expected that question to be answered. If it is not the young people, then who is it? One of you came and said it is the elders. I think it was the second speaker, and he kept alluding to the president and what he is doing. And I think that was nice. That was well thought of. But then we cannot dispute the fact that there are other pillars of sustainable peace aside from the elders. So maybe adding on to that could have been better. The youth being involved in cattle rustling, I think that is also a difficult conversation that people don't want to have, but it is actually happening. But also it is so interesting that our roots are the ones that are causing some of these things, because cattle rustling is being caused because of culture, right? We need to get enough cows to marry a woman. But who is sending this man for the cows? Someone's father. Who is someone's father? An elder. So the cycle just keeps going round and round. But we all have the hope that there is going to be peace at the end of the day. I think that the last speaker from the negator's side did a good job on the conclusion and giving responses and trying to patch up the gaps that had been left by the speakers that came before. So that was beautiful work. And because of that, and because of the overall performance, our best debater for the day is Mr. Abdul Rahim. Can we give Mr. Abdul Rahim a hand clap? What stood out for us on the panel is the fact that he was composed the whole time. When he was giving his responses, he made sure he was breathing. Yeah? And when you breathe, you calm down and you handle things better. Even when the house was on fire, he noted his points, he waited for his opportunity, and he hit every bird at a time. So thank you so much, Abdul Rahim, for that. We hope that you become a big leader in the country one day. We need more calm leaders. We need more calm leaders in the country. Now, the results for the day. Every speaker every speaker had 10 points at the beginning of the debate. Now, how were we looking at these points? We were looking at confidence, we were looking at audibility, we were looking at smartness, we were looking at research, we were looking at the amount of information that you have on the motion, we looked at the points that you gave, we looked at how you reacted to cross-examination and how you responded, and we looked at timekeeping. Our first speaker from the affirmative side, that is Bridget Lonely, scored a total of 7 marks. And our first speaker from the negators also scored 7 marks. Our second speakers, the one from the affirmative got 0.6, and the one from the negator side got 0.5. Now, just to put a break to that, I would like to encourage young people that when you are speaking to people, try as much as possible to not to rap, okay? take your time to speak. By the time these people are seated to listen to you, they have given in their time. So do not feel like you're rushing to make a point. Breathe. It is a technique. Please breathe. Oxygen is for free. Breathe and address people. You see, when you speak slowly, it even adds to your confidence as a person. So do not rap, please. Yeah, don't rap. So to our third speakers, from the affirmative, we have a speaker that the third speaker got 05, and that gives us a total of 18 for the affirmative side. And then the negators, the last speaker got a total of 08. And so from today's debate, our winners are the negators with a total of 20 points. Thank you so much for your time. And so this is when I close the debate for God and my country. We can go and have our seats as I pass on the microphone to Miss Patience.
Yes, it is the first activity over the International Peace Day, and of course this has been the debate between Idiofe Girls and Naza Muslim Secondary School, and of course Idiofe Girls did win that very debate. I will also be transiting into the panel discussion where we'll be talking more about peace. This is to celebrate the 2025 International Peace Day, and this is coming live from Arua City, where the celebrations are taking place from, and we're humble to the partners who are making this possible. The local partners and the national.
Powerful. I want to thank our judges and the debaters. Thank you so much for making research, your time, participating. It really means a lot. As Peace Fellows, we have a term called the youth of yesterday and the youth of today. So our elders, we always address them as the youth of yesterday. The Stella Nyanzis, the Chagulanyis, and all the people who have tried to promote peace or advocate for peace, we always call them the youth of yesterday. But I really appreciate, and I want to take this opportunity to welcome our cultural leaders. You're most welcome. I also want to welcome the youth leaders around. You're most welcome. I also want to welcome schools that have participated today. Thank you so much. I want to welcome the leaders. Thank you. Oh, see, I'm sorry, I was going to mess up actually. I want to take this opportunity to welcome the City Deputy Speaker. You're most welcome, Honorable Tabu Fred. I also want to welcome the Arua Central Division Deputy Speaker, Honorable Victor. You're most welcome. I want to welcome the Resident City Commissioner. Oh, I hope I don't misspell the name. I'm going to go with Miss Judith. You're most welcome. Yes. All people here, you're all welcome. We really appreciate. I'm going to give a small introduction on this activity today, which is a commemoration of International Peace Day. It always takes place on 21st September, which was 2 months now. But we are lucky that we have still participated in it, and we are going to give our views towards it. So my takeaway is that we all pay attention to it, and it shouldn't stop here. Whatever information we get from here, we should appreciate it by doing something outside to make change and promote peace. That is the best way we can advocate for peace and try to be better people and for our country. This program is funded by Interpeace and Refugee Row Project, and we are Peace Fellows. It's a group of people, though we are here as a team of 5, but we have our colleagues outside there. So without wasting much of the time, I'm going to call a Peace Fellow title. There's a panel.
Hello. Guys, I work with a lot of children on environmental conservation. So if you found this place clean, please let's all be responsible enough to pick up our bottles and the biscuit covers of eaten water. We leave this place as clean as we found it. Let's be responsible peacekeepers. If you don't keep the environment clean, you'll have sunshine and famine forever.
Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all feeling powerful. So, I want to tackle some 3 questions, yeah? Please, panelists, come in front.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nadia. I work for West Nile Youth Empowerment Center. And if you had someone calling you, that is me. So I want to welcome all of you here. For the next session, we are starting with the CSOs. That is we have Safe Drawing. Please come forth. RedNet. Host Hub. Wherever you are here. And then West Nile Youth Empowerment Center, 73rd Parliament, charity organization. You're most needed. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I'm glad to be back, and I'll be the moderator of this panel. My name is Naibale Patience, and I'm going to welcome all the panelists. I'm going to give them 30 seconds per each person to give us an introduction.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kombozi Ismail. I'm here representing 73rd Parliament. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Aldo. Aldo Adomati is my name, representing Host Hub. Thank you.
I'm Ayume Francis Simon. I work for RedNet as Executive Director and representing RedNet.
My name is Godfrey Chile. I work for Safe Play West Nile. It's a youth-led organization as the Executive Director. Thank you.
My name is Nadia. I'm a Peace Fellow. I work for West Nile Youth Empowerment Center and your host for today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. Right now, we are going to discuss about the theme. And the theme of this year as peace advocates, or yeah, I think I'll do with the peace advocates. It is, or it has been, act now for a peaceful world. And that has been the theme of International Peace Builders for this year. So I will ask these talented panelists to explain to us what they understand by Act Now for a Peaceful World, since that has been the theme of the year. So I'll give each panelist 1 minute for them to tell us what Act Now for a Peaceful World means to them.
Thank you. As I've said earlier on, my name still remains Nadia. I work for West Nile Youth Empowerment Center. The theme for this year's celebration, Act Now, for a peaceful world, to me it means the role of everyone who lives in Uganda, not only Uganda but the rest of the world, on why it is very important to keep peace in whichever place you're coming from. And I also think Act Now could mean, to me it means involving everyone to peaceful coexist. For example, when you take Arua in particular, we have so many refugees from Sudan and from Congo, and most of them have their own characters, their own behaviors. So allowing them, hosting them into staying with us in the city and also within the neighboring districts would mean us adjusting to their demands and their needs. Also, us letting go of whichever we have for the sake of the refugees. For example, if you go to Terego, you find many people competing for a health facility. So for a young, knowledgeable youth like me, could be to do best could be to advocate for budget increment in the health sector, and also to fully participate in leadership positions so that you influence changes to help everyone coexist. Of course, if you go to these health facilities, for there not to be wrangles, there needed to be resources fully available and so on. So for that, I think as young people, my role of acting now for peaceful coexistence would be lobbying for more resources within the health facilities, and also engaging myself into leadership positions to ensure that we influence changes in our various localities. And also I would think acting now would probably mean being human enough in a way that you give out the little that you have, you share it out with those like asylum seekers, you share out with them the little that you have, you also go ahead to ensure that they are also safe and sound in Arua here. And lastly, I would also think acting now would be advocating, just like I'm doing right now, engaging more schools, engaging the youth leaders, and engaging everyone to have dialogues, to have peace talks, to ensure that we value each other's importance in our societies. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Nadia. And Lee. Let's utilize 1 minute, please.
Thank you
Please,
very
question.
much. The word peace, someone who is religious, but of course I'm not speaking from a religious person. The word peace stems from the Bible. Even Jesus said, "The peace I give to you." So that means peace is so paramount. From religious perspective, also from the home perspective. A home where there's no peace, a society where there's no peace, there's no development, there's always chaos. We saw recently some district in West Nile, there was no peace. And you saw the effect. So back to the team. Act now. Act now means it's an action. What actions are we taking as individuals to promote peace? That we need to act as a student, as a leader. What are we doing? What is that you are doing? Every small step you are doing, that's promoting peace. Simple things first. How do you relate to people? How do we talk to people? How do you, the words we use to people, can it cause havoc or can it bring unrest? How do you address your students, your fellow brothers, your sisters? How do you relate to one another? At times we look at peace very far. We look at peace from skies. But what small things we do that disorganizes and cause make peace to disappear. So the team is asking for action. The action is not really from abstract, but it's the few things that we do on the ground. How many of you, when you wake up in the morning, you greet? You go to some families, people don't greet each other. Yet you wake up in the morning, you just pass. It is normal. Then how do you bring peace in those things? Our relationship to one another. How do you relate to one another? It's very, very important. If you relate very well with the victor, there's going to be peace. There are simple things, by the way, others will talk. And I just want to, because I want to bring the perspective of our students. Because at times, there are things that we hurt one another by backbiting, by doing this in school, calling names, this and that. So these things remove peace from us. When you don't greet each other from there, you're in the same class, don't greet each other. There's no peace yet. So simply, to summarize, it is call to action, and the call to action is the simple, everyday things that we do as an individual that promote peace. So thanks so much. That's my understanding of peace at local level. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is so interesting and powerful. Yes.
Thank you. And my name is Ayume Francis, once again. The definition of peace. We always say, let there be peace. Let us be peaceful. But what is peace? It's not just the absence of violence, of physical violence, or absence of gunshots and so on. That is not it. That's not only that. Peace is also understanding your rights and your boundaries, respecting your neighbor's rights and boundaries. We all have rights. We have to enjoy our rights. Rights to education, and that's why we have sent children to school. Rights to work, that's why some of us are employed. Rights to press, that's why we're having cameras around. And rights to have all as a citizen, to enjoy them. Rights to religion. You have the rights to choose your religion, and you're okay with it. You have the rights to do business. But of course, you don't have the right to destroy someone's business. I don't have rights to keep my daughter home and I give it to marriage early, because that is not your right. So peace is about observing and respecting each other's rights and protecting one another without harming anybody, physically, mentally, psychologically, in many ways. The only thing that I will tell us that call to action is let us be the drivers of peace, not drivers of violence. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Francis.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to be brief and precise. I think most of my panelists have added their words to what we call peace. I would just specifically go to the aspect of how about if we act now, what would that reflect like? For many of us, I think peace should be the smile that we put on our face each and every other time, and if this smile can translate to your neighborhood. And in Uganda, for over the years, we have the modern definition of peace as development. If we're peaceful, we'll be able to develop in one way or the other. Acting now would call us now to temporarily tolerate and be able to live in harmony. I think the debates had talked much about what is happening in Yumbe has not been a peaceful incident. But we also need to understand that at this time, Yumbe, if we were to take the dictionary meaning, is one of the most peaceful places in this world. If Yumbe is hosting refugees at Bidibidi, refugee settlement, these are people who have run away from South Sudan because of war, from Congo because of war. But of course, now, if we are to define peace in that angle, we would say Yumbe is the most peaceful place in this world, where people who are running because of violence are finding peace in. So I think that definition now disqualifies what has been happening for the last few days in Yumbe. So therefore, it gives us now, the theme is actually the definition of peace, act now. If you're in school, can you be able to put a smile on your face? Peace would actually be our GDP of Uganda. Because if you look at a country called Bhutan, Bhutan actually looks at its GDP on the smiles the people are able to smile. So for them, when people are happy, their GDP, they are the country with the highest GDP in the world, though the UN, the IMF, they disqualify that analogy of understanding the GDP. So in one way or the other, we need to define peace at the current moment. We need to move away. We can be able to say that we need to tolerate each other, however much we have small differences. The concept of peace comes from the Bible, from the Quran, from the races we are in, from the ways we think also. So everyone can define peace, but my biggest thing is now, let us keep the definition very simple. I think the word act now for me is just to say that that is the definition of peace. We don't need to waste time. Let us just act peaceful and we'll be able to promulgate peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My name still remains Kombo Ismail. Without wasting time, we are from the same peaceful waters. So whatever you hear here, they are true. So I think I'm not going to take the minutes you really gave us because everything has been spoken. We are not here for debate. We are not for competition. So my advice is that, my just advice, input, small input. By saying acting now for a peaceful world, I would say it's like asking you, what have you done for a peaceful living right now? What have you done when you are coming here so that you came here peacefully? Me, I was from a wrong place. Yeah? I was from a wrong place, but now when you look at me, I'm now transforming. I'm now looking smart. Yes. I hope you remember there is a black spot in this town whose members are claimed to be terrorizing the city. The Jamin Youth Network. I was the president. But when I started thinking about peace, I acted that time. I acted. Now this is why we are seeing me peaceful today. So when you take such examples and put them into action, then the world, you plus the other and them, you will become many, which means that everybody will be peaceful and the world will be always at peace. Thank you. I don't want to contradict myself because most of the points are already raised. Good afternoon.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Kombasi Ismail. I will appreciate if you keep the mic because the next question will actually come to you. Since you transformed from violence to peace, what are your experiences and what are some of the big threats to peace you see among the youth, the young people in West Nile and Uganda at large?
Yes. Here, to this question, I cannot do research because I was one of them. So now, guys, let me say, our students sitting before us here, to achieve peace, sometimes it risks you all. You should first risk it all to achieve peace. You cannot always speak about peace and you expect peace. You need to act. You need to do something peaceful. Let people see you doing something peaceful, something people can appreciate you for. You see, first of all, when you're joining school, you are provided with some paper, the school rules and what. That is where the peace belongs. The peace begins. Now, when you add your own on those ones there, and then you are causing conflict. Now, you are advised to go to school in school uniform. Then you go with your adult dressing code. Then the teachers will ask you, and you did that not out of reason. You are having reason. You are trying to bring conflict. You are initiating conflict. You have a reason for that. So for me, as being a member of a gangster group, Black Sport, I was able to transform. Some of us are now living in heaven. They are in heaven. I don't know why they are alive or what, I don't know. But for me, I was able to survive till today. You have seen me. And the reason is simple. I acted peacefully. When I looked around, people are not happy to us. When the community is not happy to you, you go and have a meeting, self-meeting with yourself. You ask yourself. For me, I used to ask myself, yes, Kombozi Ismail, where are you going? Why people are not happy to you? So I answered myself. I said, no, maybe I'm going wrong. So I started to imitate. First of all, I first begin by moving closer to God. Because if you don't move to God, nothing will guide you. It is only God who always guides those who want to be guided. So now, first I started praying. I was not praying. People were surprised. Say, hi, what is this one here? What is it? Now, when people are surprised of your new developments, which means that you are transforming, they will appreciate you in absence. They will say, hi. Now, this one is looking different. Now, you don't argue. Just continue. To me, you first come again. You read me that again so that I come to the right answers. I was just surrounding everything.
My question is, what are some of the biggest threats to peace among the young people in West Nile and Uganda at large?
Yes. I passed through challenges, many challenges. Let me not say there are many challenges, but I passed through many challenges. As a youth, first of all, for youth to be peaceful or to live peaceful living, there are challenges. First, to me, personally, we used to be chased by, you see there are some parliaments, usually today you are seeing parliaments, those are uncalled for, but they don't say, young people are discussing, we don't know what they are discussing. But for us, we used to use those parliaments to sell petrol. At that time, the town was, the petrol here, it was scarce. They were only having few petrol stations. But so we helped this city, at the same time we were terrorizing it. You see that? So now, the biggest challenge is, when you want to start a peaceful living, people will still keep those stereotypes. There's something called stereotypes. Once you are a prostitute, and somebody sees you now as being a wife to somebody, they will say that, you see that prostitute has married. You see, that will ever, that point is only, they want always disappointing people. When you want to change, then the stereotypes will follow you. So you choose to either remain there so that people fear you and then be blamed for something which you have left. So now, the biggest challenge here in this town that is affecting peace is exposing stereotypes or talking about people's past. Yes. A mom has changed, now leading prayers, then you start discussing his previous life. This was a gangster, what. So people will not really understand whatever that imam will speak. So the second thing is that the authorities in this town here, or the government authorities or government operatives, without getting out what exactly has brought absence of peace, they started to command you to peace. How will that one happen? First of all, if you get people living in absence of peace, first request or you research, do some brief gain of research so that you get some answer or you start helping from there. But for our authorities here, they say, the Jajamin are the notorious, let's look for them, we arrest them. Why are you arresting me? Are you arresting me because of what you heard about me or what you have seen me doing? So that is the problem here. That's why people who want peace but they are not still peaceful, they are running away from peace. I could suggest, let me come with a clear resolution here. To avoid this one here, always groups like the ones I have mentioned, or the groups like I have come from, there should be community dialogues. You call dialogues, and then you first speak to them before you arrest them, so that while we are at peace. Thirdly, the biggest challenge here in this town that's always obstructing us from peace is the body politics. The body politics is very dangerous to peace because people will only mobilize others to help them achieve their self-interest than achieving a collective interest for the good of the community. You see, I always ask myself why the opposition groups are very many here in Uganda. These many political organizations are fighting the same government with what agenda now? You see, now this has driven me to a point to say that, in fact, we don't have opposition groups here in Uganda. What we are seeing here, masquerading as the oppositions, these are political complainants. They are looking for survival. You see, peace always begins from where you start raising something good for the interest of the people, not for yourself. For us here in Arua, this seat here, the oppositions have taken the disparate states of youths here in Uganda, or in Arua Central Division, whom they can simply use to achieve their self-interest. You see, we were once used. I'm talking in experience because we were used. They will buy you something which you don't want to miss in a day. And definitely for us here in the Central Division, there are two things. The marungi and the alcohol. Youths don't want to go without them. Otherwise, the third one could be bangi, but the bangi, they are still making that. So, now these politicians, these wrong politicians are using those ones as baits to attract youth so that they accomplish their missions. So what my advice could be to the young people, don't ever be used again. We had been used, but now you have seen how Arua had remained unpeaceful in the previous days. It is because we are used. Now I'm advising you should not allow yourself to be used. You follow what is good for the people. Follow what will make your community peaceful, not that what will make you satisfied. Thank you very much.
That was a great insight. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. It's really challenging with all these threats, and as peace builders, I think it's our call now, since we are acting now, to educate people outside there. Some panels said it's not all about good roads, it's all about your rights. Let these people know their rights. If you're arrested because you're rioting, what is your right in the first place? So we should educate these people. We should let them know what peace is and what comes with peace. I'm going to kindly take this mic to Madame Nadia. I want her to help me answer the next question. And Madame Nadia, my next question is, why do you think peace education is important for young people today, especially in schools like the ones in Arua or the young people we have here?
Well, thank you. The reason as to why peace education is very important, especially in Arua here, is one, we've been having constant strikes. We've had what was it called? Ombachi College. St. Joseph's College, Ombachi. They've been having rampant strikes, and they destroy school property. They even end up, they almost killed some people, their fellow young people that side. And also we've had 3 primary schools this year who striked. 3, yes, one of them is Cornerstone. They struck because of just mere food. So, Cornerstone is secondary school, right? Oh, sorry. We've had also the primary striked. One primary school striked. I've forgotten which one. Why peace education is very important in most schools is it trains young people on how and why to live peacefully, regardless of challenges we face. Secondly, when young people are out of school, no one teaches them about peace. And so when they're faced with a challenge, you find all they can do is just to go and strike, just like my brother Kumbozita was saying. Instead of them approaching government issues that are affecting them in a calm way, they had to form gang groups and terrorize the community. Those ones are side effects of not having peace education in most schools. Assuming they had gone to school, they were taught some of these topics, they would have approached the issue very well. And also I would think why peace education is very important in school is it enables one to relate real life issues with the personal behavior, right from home up to the public. You can face a challenge, like currently Arua Central Division has very bad roads. Recently I intervened some young people from where I am coming from. They wanted to go and strike, for reasons being the road was very bad, the leaders were not representing them well. I told them the best we can do right now is to dialogue. So we had to call the local leaders and the technocrats. They went and explained to the community why the work is still at standstill and why why it will be worked on and when exactly. So as they were planning to come and strike, immediately God helped me. I reached there safely and I had to stop them. So if they had also learned about peaceful way of addressing issues, they wouldn't strike. Yes, so peace education is very important, and I would say that let government put this into current curriculum to ensure that all schools there's a topic of peace and peaceful coexistence. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please keep it up and try to make other people get interested in doing what you're doing, because it's this young generation that we need to keep the peace building moving forward. And yeah, we shall reach there. Kindly send the mic to Francis. We talked about understanding rights and boundaries, advocating, starting with now. Now, my question is, looking at the youth peace and security agenda and the upcoming elections that are going to happen here in Uganda, in Arua. What partnerships and venues do you think would be beneficial towards sustainable peace?
Thank you. I'm going to be a bit with a little example. For someone from Uganda to understand peace, I came from South Sudan. So I'm a Kakwa. We are in 3 countries. And I'd like to tell the Ugandans that the issue of the current Sudan or South Sudan, Sudan and South Sudan, started long time ago, from 1955. So it was 1955 that the first advocacy fight for the independence of South Sudan began. That was in Khartoum. And later was achieved in 2011. That's where South Sudan is currently independent. But of course, from 1955, they've been refugees, some of them even here in Uganda. And before they received part of the Ugandans around 1970s there in South Sudan. And currently, South Sudan is in problem because it started another problem from 2013 up to today. And for tomorrow, it is God who knows. So, meaning, the best thing Ugandans could do is to appreciate the current silence of a gun, first of all. The silence of gun gives you peace of mind to struggle. You know, it gives you an opportunity, a platform to thrive. You can do business. You can ride your boda. At the end, we are the one misusing again that same piece by spoiling the tarmac. You're riding a motorbike again, you're putting it down the other chuma to scratch the only tarmac you have. Look at this. So God has blessed you people with that kind of heart in the leadership. But the only thing I'd like to tell Ugandans is that if you have money, try to travel the world. And you will understand that you are given a best country. But if you're born here and you're growing here, you never cross anywhere, you will blame Uganda. But I've moved countries. Part of Europe, part of them, even within Africa. I'm a very good advocate. And the other election, which was funny enough, Madam Arasio here, as representing the president, the issue of Gambia, 2017, with the Yaya Jammeh, who is currently thinking of coming back home. That was not easy. I was there. So don't be taken away. He has made it clear. Don't be influenced to bring a problem. Madam, the only message I have, let the ones who have registered to vote go and vote. As you go to vote, make sure that there is life after election. Don't fight because your candidate is going to fail as if life is going to end tomorrow. No, it's going to be live after the election. You will need that life. The venues that are provided for the elections, you act as a security at the same time. Protect one another. That ballot box, it's something we all need to respect. Don't rush to touch that ballot box. It's where your rights will be robbed. Allow it the way it is put. Protect that venue and protect one another. I said earlier that the absence of peace is not only the silence of the guns. Of course, youth, we are creating a gap, a distance. We do not want to attend some other programs. Even this particular program, I am quite sure Madam Nadia invited others, and they are not here. Anger, you like protesting because those of Nadia, they want to do their accountability. Me, I'm not going there. You are already not in peace, even if you are at peace in your country. You are not in peace because Nadia has invited you. Imagine, Nadia had a peace in mind that believing if you are invited, you'll be of a great importance. But for you who is again in a war with yourself, He's saying, I'm not going there. That's accountability. They shouldn't use me for accountability. Taking my photos and what? This is where you get lost. In schools, someone said, Madame Nadia said, they riot where? Because of mere food and so on. And do you know that food is also rights? The only thing they have not done is sitting together to discuss about that. But by the way, some schools, I don't know if we have school proprietors here. In case you have a school, put in mind that there are three things. The hygiene of these children. The security, generally meaning the hygiene, and the food they eat, and where they sleep for those ones in boarding sections. But in some schools, if you enter their dormitories, you will not believe why you even sent your child there. And they push these children to remain there. They shouldn't talk. The food they cook for these children, it's the next problem that will add another finance trauma at home. You will be treating your child throughout the term. You don't know why it's from the same hygiene which is not there in school. And when they say, no, we want this, they say they are bad. Dear children, students, and pupils, the best thing to do is there is where to report such a thing. It's not about violence. Don't go and break your own saucepan of Janjaro, which will help you again tomorrow. Because you are annoyed today. You need the school tomorrow. Do you know? You can't burn it down. Like I said, we need Uganda tomorrow. We can't burn it down. Uganda is the only country God has given us. And by the way, it's found one in the world. The whole world, there is one Uganda. And it is here in Uganda. There is one Uganda. In Africa, one. In the whole world, there is one. So let us protect Mama Uganda, who is our mother. She is vulnerable. Every child can push her down. Let us support this grandmother of ours called Uganda. Control your anger and emotions. Respect each and everyone's rights. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Francis. For God and my country, respect your country, love your country, develop your country. Peace starts with you. That's what I took. Yeah, you're going to take my next question. And my next question is, how important is collaboration between schools, government, and civil society in sustaining peace among the youth?
Yes, thank you very much. I think this question comes rightly to me. I coordinate the Youth CSO Hub, which has seen the biggest collaboration in this region where many youth organizations are working together. And when you talk about school, I have an experience. I think in 2015 and 2016, the school children will know we had what we call avu.com. We know that, we actually know that very well. In 2015, I was the UNSA speaker for Arua district, Mandena. And when the students decided to collaborate in a very good way and form the group called avu. Avu means deaf.com. So that was a group which had a good interest. Even the good students all joined avu.com. Avu had the first lady. Avu also had the president. Avu had chairman for disciplinary. It was a complete organization. And other schools collaborated in forming the district structure of Avu. But during the first games in 2014, that was when we knew Avu was actually a havoc. There were over 13 strikes as UNSA executives at the district. We were tasked, the police had to summon us to come and sit with them to understand what is Avu. And I was the leadership of UNSA, and I came from the school where the president of Avu was, Arua Public. And that already was a threat to me. Anything that moved out knew that I'm the only person who had. But I decided to take responsibility and decided to form a committee which included the police. I openly told the stakeholders, the DEO, we as UNSA or students, we cannot do this alone. We need collaboration. If the police liaison committee is there, if UNSA is there, and the head teachers association is there, can we come together? Even some CBOs that have money for this, we come together and go to these schools and start talking about peace. We move to Moni, we move to Ombachi, we move to Arua Public, And at the end of it all, when even police wanted to arrest Avu.com, I had to tell them, no, you cannot arrest these people. I was called 3 times to go to police because they started arresting people to only say that this is the Avu, and then I told them no. The idea for us is to collaborate with these students and understand them. What was the purpose of Avu.com? If it was that, how can we be able to transform them from being in cells? Maybe we take them back to school and transform them from the school environment, because the school has a disciplinary committee. So at the end of it all, I also faced a threat because the whole Avu was a gangster. These boys wrote personally to me they were going to kill me if I appear at Barifa for the inter-school athletics. And later I went to Barifa, they did not kill me. And even now I find some of them on streets, but of course others transformed, others decided to go into drugs, and their life is nowhere. So that already tells us we need a collaboration with the schools, we need a collaboration with the stakeholders, and we need collaboration with everybody to stop this. My brother talked about the absence of gun. I want to relate with what he has said. I worked in Juba for 11 months. What we see here, the moment you cross the border of Elegu, you will totally know that we need peace. That is when you will appreciate the peace we have in this country. The moment you cross just from where you start in Ugandan side and you see South Sudan side, you will see houses, the communities ran away up to now, they have not gone back. The roofs are removed. Even the Panya roads which used to be there, the bushes have grown on them. No one lives there because of what we call the silence. The guns were not silenced because of that. And also, we also need to understand one thing as the youths. If Uganda has given us peace, I must be able to tell to people, many of us do not know this template. Democracy is a project. Even opposition is a project. The people we are dying for have been funded also to be in opposition. But if you are arrested with them, will you come out with that state of mind that you've been peaceful, you're doing your business here and there? If someone is using you, say maybe you are having this 2,000, go and take some alcohol and then you go and disorganize the other rally. So we as the youth, we are the majority. If we collaborate with the stakeholders who are in power. For us, by the way, someone once said that even at some point, if you're to be in a meaningful participation, in a meaningful collaboration, have a listening ear. So there's one thing we need to understand. Nadia hinted on the issue of schools. We need to understand the median age of Uganda is 18 years. That is, if we are to say the oldest person in Uganda, if we are to take the average, is 18 years. And these are all people who are at school. So if government that intensively or maybe intentionally decided to direct all the curriculum to talk about peace, pupils take around 8 hours to be at school. Now with body now, the whole time your children are at school, they don't come to you. So if we could cultivate peace in a school environment, if government could collaborate with school administrators, if CBOs would even implement all their project activities around education institutions, then that is where we would be able to see that we have one of the best collaborations in this world. And I also want to tell it clearly to people that for us to have that collaboration we're trying to bring upon here, one of the biggest things is the community must also understand the aspect, what suits to be a school environment. You're living near a school environment, but you're selling alcohol to the students. Or during the time when they are for inter-school activities, you're even taking your local kiosk to be at a place where you're selling alcohol here and there. So I think there is need for everyone to come together and be able to cultivate peace. If we have peaceful students, we will have peaceful leaders, because after school life, most of them will turn to be our leaders. Normally they say, you're the leaders of tomorrow, but let's start to understand we're leaders of today. Because if you miss that aspect of the definition that you're the leaders of today, you will continue to mishandle yourself. I also want to say that, in this world here, we are the most peaceful people. The whole of Uganda is the most peaceful. Not until when you move out of Uganda, that is when you know. You move to Tanzania. For you to plant a cassava, you need a fertilizer of maybe 28,000 to even 50,000. So you're not at peace with your environment. You move to Europe where you think people are peaceful. The youths are struggling. It is raining, they're saying it is the problem of Ministry of Agriculture. The Ministry of Agriculture made people to plant many trees. Now, your problems are only according to the size of your pocket. If you see, we are complaining, that for us here, we are complaining of waste. In Europe, people are complaining of that government is bothering them because government just told them, you put solid waste here, put plastic waste here. For them, they're striking because of that. And for us here, we are still striking because of food. You see now the level we are going to. So, Some of you see a lot of Z World. You see a lot of movies. You on TikTok. All what happens on TikTok is determined by someone who is controlling that technology. Me, I'm someone who I love innovations. So if you have the way you share things on your Facebook, be peaceful. The way you even most of the ladies are there, you shake bombs, you do many things. Do it peaceful in a way that it must be able to promote peace. So when we are using technology, the things that we impress in Europe now, people don't drive cars because if someone is driving a car, it is a problem. Your weight, you will not manage your weight. People are even the rich people are the ones who are riding bicycles. But for us, we are still watching movies where Jet Li acted in 1975, where Europe was full of gas, but now it is not like that. Move to countries like Congo, even a road is not there, but at least for us in Uganda, we have a lot of roads. So let us appreciate what we have. Let us not see what we see on TikTok, on Facebook, and then at the end we want to say we are going to protest. That will not take us anywhere. And big to this is let us collaborate. For me, the school is the best place where we can do intervention. I'm happy that the partners here decided to invite majority of the participants here are the school-going students. This, for us, I don't know how old we are here. For me, I don't have beards, but I'm somehow getting old. So the same is also to you. But these ones here will be the one who will take up on that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Know your boundaries, appreciate them, work hard towards it. You will succeed. That's what I was able to take. Please pass the mic. Our last question. And my last question to you is, if you were to be given one call to action for young people in Arua City, and that is act now for a peaceful world, what would it be?
Thank you very much. I'm someone from Arua City. I've lived most of my life here. And the call for action now, we're in the critical period of elections. It's a time where there's too much confusion, especially, and mostly impact is suffered by the young people. Because it's a time where many people want to use them for their own benefits. Many people want to manipulate them to do wrong things. Many people want to use them to promote violence. Many people want to use them to do things that benefit their own motives. One call to action is, as young people, let us know our place. Let us know our place. Where do we belong? And what do we want, first of all, as young people? Once we know that, we're able to follow that direction. 2, let us be value-based. Let us be value-based. As the people come to us, let us evaluate. Whoever is using me, will it add value to me? As my brother did say, the 2,000 you eat, the alcohol you drink, but when it comes to arresting you there, you'll be alone. You bring burden to parents, you bring a lot of issues to families. So our call to action is, let's say no to violence. 1, let's say no to bad politics. Let's say no to money politics. Let us go for people who are going to push for our agenda. Want young people, want employment, want skilling centers. Which leader can help to push our voices? Because the money you eat today, tomorrow, the hunger remains. So that's one thing I can say. We want a free world where there's no violence. We want to coexist. And the Bible, we have Catholics here, we have Muslims. My brothers, let us live together. There's religion comes, it goes. We all born, we got a religion. But it's a very good thing to be religious. But to go beyond religion. My relationship with my brother is most important. I have very many friends who are Muslims. Actually, my first girlfriend was a Muslim, called Alia. Up to now, I regret we didn't get married. Because by now, I should have learned a lot of Muslim, a lot of things. So what I'm trying to say is let's coexist, let's stay together. Thank you.
What a missed opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I want to appreciate my panelists. You've really done a great job. And I think the audience, you people have learned. You have you've learned what to do outside there and what to advocate for. So I'm going to only allow 3 questions from the audience. 3 questions, and you will address the question to any panelists to answer the question. Then we shall call it a day. 3 questions. Yes, Hope? Let me start with this student.
Okay. Okay. I'm called Aitas from St. Mary's Idofega Secondary School. I have one question and one request to all the panelists. Okay. One of it is that we have Peace Club in our school, and it has been newly introduced just this year. And I happen to be the chairperson of Peace Club there. But our problem is that none of those educated people have gone to us Peace Club. Literally, we have little knowledge about Peace Club because do research and all we know is just the things given by AI. So I am begging, if possible, come and educate us about Peace Club so that we can also be empowered about peace. Then another question is that, is there an opportunity for us, the students, to be ambassadors of Peace Club or peace in the district level?
I think the first question is a request. It's a request, and that will be noted, and we shall make sure to implement towards it. Then I'm going to give an opportunity to whoever feels like, because we are running out of time, to answer her second question. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I must say that I must congratulate St. Mary's Idiofe for coming up with such an initiative. And I would request that let all other schools who are here borrow a leaf. Next year, please form a peace club so that we can have as many peace clubs as possible to come and help. St. Mary's Idiofe, I want to pledge that I will be one of your facilitators or your mentors concerning peace. And it won't only be in St. Mary's, but it will be in most of the secondary schools in Arua City. Concerning being peace ambassadors, you've asked the right question, and I'm the right person to answer you. I am a female counselor, and I represent women in Arua Central Division Council. I think this is something we shall push under Social Services Committee to ensure that there is a budget that helps in promoting peace in most schools, and just to do facilitations and so on for schools like this. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, thank you so much, panelists, for giving us knowledge and your thoughts. First, I would like to say that I think it is only right for us to acknowledge that opposition will always be there. It is not going to stop just because we say it. It may be a project under democracy, but it is still going to be there. And the sooner we acknowledge that it is there, the better we are going to even fight them or even work with them. I think something that we fail to understand is that once someone is part of the opposition, some of us think once they are opposing me, I can't work with them. But it is so interesting what can come out of us working together with these different people. So maybe we could use the approach of not just shunning away the opposition, but calling them, and we could say, okay, let us sit down on a table and let us talk, yeah? There used to be a round table we used to sit on, but these days the tables are square and rectangle. So yeah, we can sit on those tables and talk about working, about things together. Maybe the collaboration does not have to be among only CSOs. It could be among the leaders, both the government and the opposition. Secondly, Honorable Nadia talked about, I hope honorable is your title. Yes. Honorable Nadia talked about the need to talk about peace and to teach peace in the syllabus. But I would like you to note that political education was actually scrapped off the syllabus. I was one of the people that was hurt because it was during my year, and yet I was excited to study political education at that time. So maybe we could start conversations about maybe political education coming back and letting us learn about our history, because it then informs our current status right now. And then lastly is a note that appreciating what I have does not mean that I should not dream for more. Yeah? Many of the panelists have said, people, let us appreciate peace. Let us appreciate the peace that we have. And that is true. But we should also, as young people, we need to dream for more. Because if we don't ask the leaders these hard questions, they are going to be reluctant. They are going to doze off every day in parliament, and they are not going to say anything. We have dreams. When we are growing up, our teachers are telling us, oh, you can be an engineer. You can be a civil servant somewhere. You can be a lawyer. But then when I am leaving school, the government is not giving me the opportunity to become the engineer I wanted to be, because there is nepotism, there is corruption that is not being fought at that top, and I cannot fight it on my own. Now, lastly, I would like to add my voice to the lady there when she said that peace clubs are not getting more educated or more skilled people to speak to them. I think that's something that we are continuously forgetting to do, is understand the generation that is cropping up right now. Beautifully, the generation that we have right now loves dialogue. They love talking about things. So maybe going to where they are instead of them running to us could be a better way to promote the sustainable peace that we are all yearning for. Thank you.
Thank you for shaking the expensive tables. My last question.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, all. My name is Grace. I work for Peace for Women West Nile. My question is specifically directed to Mr. Aldo and maybe with Francis. Peace is a beautiful thing, isn't it? We all enjoy peace. What specifically about peace are you curious about? That one goes to Aldo. And then are you looking for ways to cultivate inner peace, or maybe thinking about global peace initiatives? That one goes to Mr. Francis. Thank you.
Thirty seconds.
In 30 seconds, what curious are you about, specific about peace? Particularly for me, the curious thing about peace I want us to understand is, if we are to define peace, if we are to promulgate or preach peace, should we decide to make it too academic, or we need to make it something that is simple, that even the person who did not go to school can be able to be the best peace advocates? Many times, we think that we must always get those who are expert in peace, not knowing that peace is actually the way of life. It's supposed to be a way of life. If we are to take, I told to some people, when I first spoke here, I say that if we are to define, we take the dictionary meaning of peace, you should have been the most peaceful district in the world. If you're hosting the largest refugee population, BDBD in, and you're supposed to be the most peaceful place. But that is not the reality now. So we are living in a reality that we need to be dynamic in nature. Someone is talking about, the students are talking about peace. How can they be able to? Can there be someone, even as they're going back to school, we go with them and tell them, actually, this journey you've been moving here, instead of using 10 minutes for walking back to school, you use 5 minutes. That is already peace, because you're saving energy, you're going to save the environment. There are many things you're doing on. So there are many things we can do around peace. What I'm only curious about is, how people are imposing their ideas on others. That is where now we are tampering with peace. A politician will come and want to impose his own ideas. It has not started now. Even the Cold War politics that came up to 2001, people wanted their ideas to be on others. Even right now, for you here, we are here maybe implementing one or two activities, but somewhere someone wants us to take it the way they want it. We are still defining peace in a dictionary way when actually it is not that reality. So that is the curious thing I'm about. I talked about technology. I'm also curious about technology and how people are using it for promulgating peace. If you want to mobilize people now, use the media. It is the fourth estate. And then add internet to it, which is the fifth estate. There, we have seen what happened in Kenya, the Gen Z uprising. It went to Nepal. I was in Nepal in 2018. And it was one of the peace. It was developing their country like us. But just recently, I was seeing pictures of places where I was sleeping, now totally being destroyed. So that is the curious thing I'm about. Yeah.
I'd like you to pass the mic back. Let me get the question clearly so I can answer very well, or we answer together.
Okay, thank you. The question that I specifically directed to you was, are you looking for ways to cultivate inner peace, or maybe thinking about global peace initiatives? Thank you.
Thank you. Global peace is very expensive to achieve without a local peace. Actually, I'm going straight to recommendations like what our lady from St. Mary's said. The Peace Club, may God bless you. And to Kombozi, I think one of the things I've been thinking is about, we don't need to only have those peace clubs in schools. We need to turn people who are transformed like him. Those clubs, they were structured very well. But if we can use them and we form community peace promoters clubs, I think we'll achieve more. Because they will help in monitoring GBV cases, theft, and so many other harmful activities in the area, including the drugs that we're accusing our other brothers and sisters for. So I don't know if it is possible that if we can turn the Jajamin, transform members to a peace club at that particular area, I think it will be fine. Yeah, the peace ambassadors. And then, like, there is another elder brother there, Jerome. If you can only stand up, my president, Taban Swale, Jerome, can you stand up and wave? That one is the biggest president, bigger than him. He has something, only that I am not controlling the mic, but if I was in charge, I would give him 2 minutes, and you will hear the other history from him. If he's the part of the next, you will hear from him. Don't run away. He has information. And together, let us come together, the councillors, the CSO members, and the transform boys, street boys, ghettos. Let us initiate and form community peace promoters. These clubs are missing in our areas. And if we have them, I know we'll achieve one item at a time. The inner peace beginning from me and you. Remember, poverty is also bad. Even relationships are breaking. You are still dating and someone is asking you just to pay transport to visit and you don't have. That is another problem. She chooses another guy now, problem is already here. Poverty. That you are not serious. That is the English, right? That you are stingy, what. So we need to have peace within ourselves, believing in one another, trusting each other. And then, first of all, work hard. We need to be entrepreneurs. We need to be entrepreneurs so that we can afford certain things that is instigating, adding a lot of jealousy. Jealousy is another issue, and it comes because of poverty. Poor person reasons different. That is why the rich does not sleep, thinking the poor will attack. And the poor is not sleeping because they are hungry. And this is where the society is messing up. We have the plan, but let us begin by them. Community peace promoters clubs. Then we take it global now. We can even take it to whatever. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have finally come to the closure moment. But Hope raised an issue of being contented because we need peace. And the way I understood her point was people should not be contented with what, okay, they should be, but they should advocate for more. So, and I think by doing that, as youth, we don't need to riot, because most of the youth around Kampala or other areas, when they want change or something, they do it in a violent way rather than finding better measurement steps to take. They opt for violence. So I wouldn't say we should be comfortable in one zone, but what I advise is people should find better ways of advocating or of trying to fight for something that is better. And let us not get, it is election time, so let us not try to get involved in riots because you've heard this and this is going to be. These are promises people are making. So let us not run towards them. Let us think better and act better. So that's all I can say for me. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me and appreciate my panelists. They've really done a great job. Thank you so much. We appreciate for you sharing your knowledge. It really means a lot, especially the youth of today. It really means a lot. And hopefully, on my side, I've really learned a lot, and I'm very sure that this knowledge won't stop here. I'm going to carry it to other people, and I will do the best towards building peace. Thank you so much.
Panelists, thank you.
Looking for top quality uniforms, corporate wear, or custom printing that speaks excellence? Welcome to Western Garment and Printing Service Limited. We specialize in school uniforms, corporate attire, protective wear, embroidery, and screen printing, all crafted with precision, passion, and durability you can trust. At Western Garment, every state tells your story. Because your brand deserves the best, visit us today at Pro 35, Third House, Rhino Camp Road, or call 0392-548-308. Western Garment and Printing. Brand better, dress smart, print quality.
Most times you know, elders.
Introducing Host TV, your ultimate advertising destination. Get 50% discount offer today. Elevate your brand with Host TV. Available on YOTV, Afro Mobile, and Host Media app. We offer commercial advertising, live event broadcasting, streaming service, social media marketing, publication on dailywestnile.info. We are Host TV. Connect with us on all social media platforms.
We've been working much with the young people outside school. That is why you see the ghetto youths. That's why you see the youth in the informal sectors. You see the CSO youths, the youth council, and so forth. As Western Youth Empowerment Center 73rd and our partners, we've been working mostly with this category of young people. So this time we said, no, let's bring you. Why you are here is, one, for us to come and empower you to be as peace ambassadors. We're not going to stop from here. And also to see that we create peace clubs within these schools, okay? So now, after here, when you go back, meaning that we are going back as a peace, it's good that Ediofegal already has a peace club. I don't know if Naja has a peace club. I don't know if Arua Islamic has a peace club, and other schools, I don't know if they have peace clubs. But then after here, we would see that we need peace clubs. And then these peace clubs are not going to be like that. You said you want empowerment. Yes, we are going to be with you. We're going to make sure that we're going to go to you, to empower you, to be as peace ambassadors. We have Host Hub. We'll make sure you have opportunities at Host TV where you come and educate fellow young people outside there. So there's a lot of opportunity for you, the students, that is still yet untapped yet, okay? That is why you are here. So make sure that there are a lot of things that we are going to be doing with you. Thank you very much for that. Having said that, I want to invite my colleague, Titus. Titus, I want to invite you. He's going to lead this panel. And on the panel, we have Sabir Musa. Sabir Musa is a journalist. He's a young person. He's representing the youth in the media. So Sabir Musa, you are most welcome here. Let's put a clap for him, please. Another one, we have the youth, the youth leader, the youth chairperson for Arua. The youth chairperson for Arua, Eyote Abdul Salam. You are most welcome to take your seat also. Let's put a clap for him. Thank you. We have the ghetto president. We have the ghetto president, His Excellency Swale. You are most welcome also to take your seat. He's the ghetto president of Arua City. Okay? He'll tell you more. Okay? You'll understand more. And then we have Ezaru Charity. I don't know if you are here with us. Charity. Ezaru Charity. You are most welcome to take a seat. Yes, one other panelist that is also with us here, we're going to have Bio Francis. Bio Francis is not around. Okay, as we wait for him, this is a power panelist, and these are energetic young people, and they represent you at various capacities. We have the ones at the city, we have the ghetto youth, and they're going to share a lot with you. And I'm sure this is not going to take us long. This is going to take us immediately to lunch. Thank you very much. Titus. Titus, you're most welcome. Titus is a peace fellow, okay? So the students feel free to ask Titus on anything related to peace building, okay? This is time for you to learn. Are we clear? So feel free to ask him. Not only him, there are other peace fellows here that I'm going to also introduce at a later time. You will know them. They will share their contacts with you, emails with you, to at least share. If there are questions that you have in relation to peace building and conflict resolution, you can ask them any question. Are we clear? Thank you very much. Titus, you are most welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me give the floor to our youth leaders. Could you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. My name is, I'm sorry, the first person pronounced it not in a way that it was supposed to be, but that is a minor error. Okay. You may excuse me. I'm a bit kind of sick. I have flu. You may bear with me, okay? My name is Izuru Charity, representing female youth counselor, Arua City, the incoming one, unopposed, both in primaries and general. So, thank you so much. Actually, I'm representing a colleague, though I am also a female youth counselor at division level. That's Ivo Division. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, thank you. I am Ejote Abdul Salam Lesson.
aspirant for youth councillor, Central Division. At the same time, a youth leader I've served in for 5 years, and a member of a city a city peace committee, that is Arua City Peace Committee, which has been constituted. It has worked for two years now. So I'm representing young people in that platform as well. So it's a pleasure being here as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. That sounds good now. My name is Sabir Musa. I am a journalist, and I sit at Arua Hub for Uganda Radio Network. Many people know Sabir as a journalist from Radio Parties, about 6 years. For 6 years. I'm a member of Peace Journalism Foundation, East Africa, and participant a few years ago for the Global Peace Foundation, the Peace Challenge. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Taban Swale. I am working with the Sahad as a field officer. I am the Arua City Ghetto President. And I am an peer educator to transform ghetto youth. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to ask you this question. I would like to know your view on it. What does Act Now for a Peaceful World mean to you personally and within your business world?
Thank you so much for that wonderful question. According to me, to my own understanding, peace itself, it's actually a practical kind of thing whereby you are to implement it in a way that you try to create a harmony and well-being of the community. Peace actually starts within yourself, from you or I myself, and then goes to the rest of the community. So peace is something that actually creates harmony, togetherness, and well-being of a particular society. That starts within yourself.
Yes, talking about Act Now for a Peaceful World, we have looked at it in a broader aspect, because as alluded before by other panelists here, they did define what peace is. People define peace in a different ways. Me, I would term peace to be where there's love and no fights. I would term peace to be where there are more community dialogues than fights. And I would term peace to be where there are more happy moments than cries. And if you're to bring, if before taking peace in a broader aspect, first peace starts with you, as a colleague had said before. If you're not at peace with your own self, then it will be hard for you to see the next person or else the community at peace. Look at the community. If your community is not at peace, then you can't think of the world. How can the world be at peace when the nearest community you're living in is not at peace? So as a young person, I would take this as an action, or as an action to ensure that peace reigns in the world, all over the world. But for that to happen, I need to start it with my own self, and then to the people nearest to me, which is the community. Then the world comes in about. Thank you.
As a journalist, Act Now for Peaceful World, to me, means the contributions that I make right now to see that the world tomorrow, next year, in the next generation is peaceful. We have so many things happening today. I was seated right behind that sister when the previous panel was discussing about the issue mentioned in the issue of Yumbe. As a journalist, what have does the media do to see that the same does not repeat, maybe in the next generation or tomorrow, but also what contribution is made as a young person, as a journalist, to see that it is addressed peacefully, we coexist. If you go on TikTok, there's social media, there are a lot of things now moving about this of Yumbe. Now people are pushing it to maybe Arua, to other places, mention a deal face. But what have you done as a young person to see that this is not repeated and this is addressed peacefully, to see that tomorrow we are going to have very peaceful society where we live in. So as a journalist, what as an individual I've done is to interact that same day on Tuesday when the issue happened, to pick my phone and talk to the Sheikh Kasim, and then talk to the RDC and talk to the RPC, and also made an attempt to speak to the district Kadi to see, first of all, to understand the whole issue. Because I've learned that on social media, if you move there, if you are someone who is very keen on information, to verify, is this correct information, is not correct information. I picked that channel, read a lot on social media with misinformation, disinformation. I had to take that step of talking to these authorities and the person who is in the center of the conflict to understand what actually happened. So that helped me to put a very good story, which was using the lens of peace. How best can we live together? So this theme, to me, is a call for action. As a young person today, what are you going to do to see that the world tomorrow, or the Uganda, or even at home, you live peacefully after today? Thank you.
Thank you. I remain Taban Swale. Peace. We have been talking about peace over 40 years now. To me, what we call peace is a mindset change which begins with you. Because there are mistakes happening. A mistake repeated once is a decision. A mistake repeated twice is a habit. A mistake repeated 3 times, that is a character who you are really. To me, peace, as we say, it starts with you, is your mindset change. As a student, the Ministry of Education has been speaking all the time, we don't need violence. But our students, when it comes time of their sports, our elders at these days no longer going to watch footballs because of the riots the students are causing in sports areas. That one needs mindset change. And this last year, they have spoken. This year, they have spoken. Tomorrow, next year will happen again. What is that? Is it a character? Is it age which it disturbs? To me, as I told you, as a ghetto leader, what was been happening in Yumbe, we all participate on it. When something started in Yumbe, I am one ghetto leader in the region. I've been appointed by also national pressure group to work. I believe in mindset change. What he has been telling you about is that we have over 180 these groups in this city of Arua. And it is me reaching to them every day. I have been a gang member for 17 years. I reformed now 10 years, and I have transformed over 600 gang members in this town through lobby from organizations, NGOs, through lobbying from government, and it is government who is bringing us down. Everything we have put online, they don't support. Remember, there is no difference between the ghetto and the refugees. Ghettos are living like refugees in their country in terms of accessing hospitals, in terms of accessing government offices. Now who will talk to us? Who will guide us? When we work in these areas, we shall have peace in this town. Because we have talked to these gang members, gang leaders. They all come out. Even if you wanted me to call them right now, all here, they will come. But we still remain other gaps to fulfill to make sure these ghettos leave drug abuse, leave the issues of terrorizing town, leave. These are not someone who come from somewhere. These are your elder brothers, your younger brothers, our sons. We need to talk to them. If we don't talk to them, and there are those ones who are still have hope in what they are doing, and there are those ones who are already tired, wanted to come out, and they coming out. Me, I want to tell you, it is a long story, me to still sit here in front of you today. When my children are going to school, I'm going to school. Can you agree with me? When my children are going to school, I'm going to school. One of my sons is graduating next year. IU Mbali campus. Can you imagine someone who has been a gang member came, pay his child to go and graduate from school? It is something bigger. Because people believe when your father is a mechanic, you are mechanic. When your father is a executive director, you will be executive director. No. Me, I've been gang member. My son is going to be doctor. Now, that's why I told you, this is, I believe in mindset change, and I believe in what you want to achieve. If you believe I want to achieve this something, you will achieve. I believe in mindset change. I leave gang. I went to school. Did you believe I have graduated? I graduated. I did certificate in social services. I did the IT. I did the bakery. Today I have employed 8 gang members working at my home. Now what is that? We need the support. And I want to urge these organizers of this event, don't stop here. I need your support to transform my ghetto leaders, to talk to my ghetto leaders, to train them to be a good community leader. Thank you.
Thank you. So, as a former gang member, how do you think, what challenges do you think the youth face trying to promote peace, and how do you think they would overcome them?
Thank you, moderator. As I've been telling this gathering, right now, what these youths are facing, as I told you, we in ghettos, we are living like refugees. People, some of us have lost their parents when they are still child. Some of us, as in lifestyle of others, join them through life. Some of us has been influenced by a group. Now, in everything in our language, local language, they are saying, "Iyo dumiusuku michoyo niku." Challenge you pass through is the one to change you, transform you, learn lesson. These boys are many in the street. When you go to Jajamin, when you go to 35 Dogs, when you go to Gaza, when you go to Baboons, when you go to, when I count them here, I will be tired. And I'm their leader. I'm their leader. Whatever good, bad passed through me. These boys are really suffering. Because these days, when you reach 14 to 15, you need to touch some things, or female or male. In my ghettos right now, I want to tell you, I have girls which are 12 years and now pregnant. They are there. If you need them, I will bring them now. I have boys. They're already married. They are 13, 12 years. They are there. Now, this boy has now come family aid. You are staying in a rented house. Your wife wants to dress well. Your son wants to dress well. You want to dress well. And you have no work. You have no support. You have no... You believe me to make my family happy. What can I do? I have to go to street. Found one friend. We look for money. We hustle. I see a woman passing with the bag. I grab. There is a phone there. I see women going. I have to make sure my family survive. So all in all, these boys need support from all NGOs which can come, and we welcome them. And we know where danger areas, we will take them there. I want to thank that the executive director of West Nile Empowerment. He has tried his best to transform these boys. But he has reached on the wrong hands. What he loved, people just look stomach affairs. They don't look about the development. They don't look about the future in front of them. And right now, he is dealing with the right people. I know me and him are going to change this town. Wrong person will come to say, I'm here. We know how to talk to them to come to say, I am here doing this. We know how to approach them. Some of you don't. We know our languages in the ghettos. We have our languages. We have our language of call this pocket, which is up here. We have our language of calling this phone. We have all our language of calling the pocket, which is in front or behind. We know them. You people, nobody knows. Right now, if we want to go and attack you where you are going, we shall even disguise near you here, you can know nothing. Because we have our language. Now, this peace, even we are tired of hearing it because other people are not following it, the rules. As I have been telling students, last year, Minister of Education said we don't need a riot. This year is going to happen again. I don't know why you people not invite Ombachi here, Vara here. The schools I'm seeing here are the peaceful schools in this city. The schools who are encouraging these other schools to do wrong thing, they are not here. Next time, if such functions are there, call them all. Because the schools have already changed them. This day is more dangerous than the ghettos. Because we already identified the ghettos who have been doing wrong things. They're already changing. These boys has a challenge of taking care of them. They have a challenge of supporting their career. They have a challenge of going to school. They have a challenge of going to health centers. Because already you call me criminal. I will not go to see your shop there to survive. Unless I create my own job, I create my own business. People will see I'm now doing this. They come to me. But before me performing myself, nobody will support that. That is the challenge. Those ones who already come back, those ones who already left, gang issues, what terrorizing. Did you know right now, they have stayed for over 1 year, 2 years. They are now, others are selling opium. Others are drunkards. Others, can you imagine someone who has been taking care of his or her children well now, becoming beggars, becoming drunkards, becoming... How will that one who is willing to change see? He has to see that one already in position, changed, supported. That one will come automatically. So that is the challenge. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that. So being a journalist, in your experience, what are some of the biggest threats to peace among the youth in West Nile, Uganda, and the region?
Thank you so much. The biggest threat to me is the influence. The influence, I could say it's the bad influence. He just mentioned how some of the young people entered in some of these groups. So when you start associating with them, pushed by conditions, it actually fuels up the number of people joining. And then after that, they become tool, special for politicians during the election time. Not all politicians, some politicians during election time to cause violence and to cause other things. They will be used to become as a fuel in the violence. So the big problem is also addressing the issues. My observation over the few years I've been in media is the people who are supposed to address these challenges, moving to the ghettos, they address the outcome of the problem. No one has ever gone to the ghetto to ask the questions, the real question, the hard question, what is the cause of this problem? I've had opportunity, I've worked with him for some time, moving up to the ghetto, in the dark areas of the ghetto, life there is far different. Mbozi also mentioned the same thing. I had an opportunity working with him to ask the hard question from the ghetto. But when the authorities talk about police, talk about different sectors of authorities to address these issues, they don't ask the hard question and address from there. So they always play around the outcome of the problems, pickpocketing and other things, arrested, done. But the primary cause is not addressed. Thank you.
So my question to you is, what do you think peace education, why do you think peace education is important for young people, especially in schools like those in Arua City? Education is important for young people today, especially in schools like those in Arua City.
Okay, thank you. Once again, I am Abdul Salam Lesson. I would like to thank, allow me to thank our West Nile Empowerment Youth Center for ensuring that such activities or platforms are given for young people to air out their voices. If not for them, I don't think there are other organizations that look around to see voices of peace or as championing peace is taken a priority amid the stories amongst the young people. Back to your question, why
do you think peace education is important for young people today, especially schools in Arua City?
Okay, yes, thank you. When you talk about peace, literally, as I did say earlier on, peace starts with me, then my immediate neighbor, then the next. Peace at school is so much of importance to guide the students in how they can live harmoniously amongst themselves, despite the environments they are attaining their education or they're learning from. Because some of these students, they travel from a long distance and they're coming to learn in an environment that might not be convenient to them, and how they cope to it matters a lot. And how they can cope of it is when they are taken through how peaceful they can coexist. And looking at the world outside, they are always at school. At least the world outside, if you're outside world, you can mean to learn by heart. What I mean to say is you can mean to learn. In the local language, they say that minga ni azomi worse. So literally, it's very hard outside, where you will learn. If you're not taught, you learn the hard way. So I encourage the students to take up the peace building committee serious and the lessons taught to them about peace. Because as a panelist did say before, we are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are leaders of today. In those days when they used to think about peace at schools, we saw how the young people who come out from school come out and practice it. And of course, there's a gap where you did see the chairperson of Ediofe Girls who was asking to if they can be part of the committee, which means there's gap. So how about the schools that are not having such clubs? How do they learn about peace? What will they learn about peace? What will they know of peace? So I would say it's of much importance if it's taught in schools. Thank you.
Thank you for that. So my question to you is, how can youth health organizations and student councils contribute to preventing violence or discrimination? How can youth health organizations and student councils contribute to preventing violence and discrimination?
Thank you.
That's a wonderful question. That has been directed to me as a leader of the young nation of today, especially in Arua City. The question is that how can the youth health organization
Student councils contribute to preventing violence or discrimination?
Wow, that's wonderful. How can the youth health organization or schools contribute to what? The prevention of violence and segregation, right? So peace itself is something important that all of us must actually practice in a given society. Without peace, I think we wouldn't have been here. Take for instance, from our neighboring countries today, like South Sudan and Sudan itself, they are not at peace. Why? Because there are so many issues taking place in their country, insecurity, and so many other things. So peace being amidst us is something important, and we all need to practice peace. So peace starts from home. Peace starts within yourself. You coming outside here should actually be a task to you that as I come out, as I go to school, I should practice peace wherever I go, because our nation, Uganda, stands on peace. Even in our different congregations, from our different places of worship, we do emphasize about peace being very necessary, because without peace, we can't really do. Once I get problem with my immediate neighbor here, I may not be able to be at peace if you're really a believer, regardless of your religion. If you're really a believer, if you're not at peace with your immediate neighbor, you may not really be well. Like for me, when I get a problem with my immediate neighbor, it may not take the whole day. I can be unsettled. There's a way I feel that today may not end for me well. Within maybe some few minutes, maybe after some hours, I make sure I ask for pardon. Because we are humans, we do make mistakes. I can cite an example from my family, from where I come from. We used to have, I think, yes, we have our last born who is now 12 years old. This boy does not want peace. I believe we all have black sheep in the families, right? So this boy is so stubborn, up to the extent he was even taken to Gili. That is a remand home for the kids, that do not want really to behave well. So that's where they've been taken to every time. When I was on my final year, I called Dad. I was like, Dad, there's no need to take this boy there. We can still do something better. Said, maybe you come and do your part. Really, I'm so, disgusted. I said, no, Musa, I can do my part. When I came back, do you know what I did? I was like, you are going to be our prayer leader at home. So, being prayerful, at times, not at times, but it models you a bit, it shapes you. You begin to have some fear in you that if I do ABCD, that may not be in line with what God wants from me. So he started changing. I made some book whereby he could sign every day. He goes and plays around, he comes back. At times when he finds mom at home cooking, he would want to bring issues. Now that you're cooking late, we're even hungry, what, I would tell him, at times I hide whenever I begin to imagine that he should be on his way. I make sure I hide a bit to just observe around if he's going to create some, discomfort to the people at home. And this is a very young boy trying to make everyone feel that he's the biggest, So this boy would come, and when he hears my voice in the house, he comes a bit. So what does that one mean to us as young people, as a leader in different perspectives? We should have in mind that you can be the immediate, you can transform that family where you come from in terms of peace. Where there's no peace, pray, intercede for your family, so that there is a transformation in the family. Most of our families today, we are talking of peace outside here, but you should ask yourself, do we have peace at home? Because people who do create chaos outside here, I believe most of them do not have peace at home. So you want to transfer whatever thing you had at home to the work environment, to your well-being, to the outside environment, which is not good. So let's check ourselves. Am I at peace with people at home? That should be a task to all of us here. So if there is peace outside there, be able to transfer that peace to the outside community, to the outside environment, so that there is fit, so that we fit everywhere. We fit comfortable, right? So the way we can prevent this, we can prevent some of these issues in organizations or in our various schools is in a way that we should be good implementers of peace. Make sure you be a good implementer of peace. Let's not just talk about it. Today we have talked about it. So what are you going to do after here? As students, let's ask ourselves, what am I going to do after here? That now that I've had it, what am I going to do to the rest of the students at school? I know some of you might be having, some little problems over snacks at school. I believe we do have. Next time, last time I helped my friend, I gifted her this and that. I do help her with answers, and whenever she comes from home, she buys her things and she doesn't give me. Now that, that kind of hatred comes in, immediately there's no peace. So let's be good implementers in our various societies. Let's be good implementers of peace. Are we okay? Yes. So don't only do it there, continue with it so that you become a good leader. You become a spiritual leader. You become a political leader with vision. Okay? Let's be good implementers of peace. Secondly, let's disagree with things that do not align with peace. What am I trying to mean? There are certain practices that we do that is not in line with peace. I'm trying to bring some idea in whereby I believe some of us come from single schools, others are from mixed schools. In mixed schools, I believe we do have challenges of, as a lady, maybe you're always active in class and a boy tends to what? Tries to scare you a bit, intimidate you, that you want to be the best, you pretend to be this and that, or you have pride in you. No, tell him, try to bring him, closer. I believe that we ladies, we know how to deal with, There's a way you bring someone closer, isn't it? So you make sure you do it in a way that there's peace comes in. So that is the way we are to create peace. Let's really be good implementers of peace wherever we go to. Because tomorrow awaits for us, tomorrow awaits for you and me. That is it. So lastly, I'm encouraging each one of us in our different perspectives of life, in your own capacity. I'm encouraging us that as we leave this environment, let's have in mind that we are now going to be good implementers of peace in our own communities, in our country, wherever we shall go. I beg to stop here. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful feedback. Would you please give them a hand over to us? Today, lunch is ready. You can stand up. Lunch. The session.
Okay.
We're going for a break.
Looking for top quality uniforms, corporate wear, or custom printing that speaks excellence? Welcome to West Nile Garment and Printing Service Limited. We specialize in school uniforms, corporate attire, protective wear, embroidery, and screen printing, all crafted with precision, passion, and durability you can trust. At West Nile Garment, every stitch tells your story. Because your brand deserves the best, visit us today at Plot 35, Third House, Rhino Camp Road, or call 0392.
We speak to them almost all the time, but they don't get it. I don't know how you're going to deal with those schools. St. Joseph's College Mbachi, if they don't strike in a year, that year will not end. Mbara Secondary School, if they don't cause chaos with any other school, problem is not solved. Arua Public is not here. Drug abuse. We are the youth. These are the, I don't know why these schools came by. You are very humble schools. Schools like Ethiopia Girls, I don't think there are problems there. But the people whom we really wanted to address this issue to are not here. So I don't know how you are going to take it to them. This information should reach those schools that a student from St. Mary's Ethiopia Girls said it should reach like that. It should reach like that. Because honestly, we are the youth. After you, we are supposed to sit there as what? Panels, right? To discuss these issues. If they are not there, what is the guarantee that we are going to have better leaders in the future? It is not really going to work out like that. And then to the ghetto president, though I've been hearing the speech, but I don't know much about ghetto, but I wanted to know the coverage that you have within Arua, because there are those in my area, those funny boys, they are always there. Whenever they see me out of school, they be like, Iga, what's up? Why are you home? For us, we have spoiled our chance. We want to get it again. Why are you back? Is it school fees? You know, some of them are really willing now to do something for themselves, but it's very difficult. You see that? It's very difficult for them to come up. Why? The community now target them as criminals. The community is looking at them as problem causers. Yet they have transformed themselves. But since they have now nothing to do, all they can do is sit back. My friend is doing, why can't I do it? Because I have nothing to do now. What is my work? What is my responsibility? You see that? That's all I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my young sister from St. Mary's Ethiopia. Concerning invitations, I was the one who personally dropped the invites to almost all the schools. Unfortunately, most of them never turned up. Mbara SS, Money Girls, removed my ghetto member from cells. What is the difference between a thief and a ghetto youth? Teams are striking for presence of pork, joint, and case. Why isn't media airing out the correct information? Why is so? What has mixed and early marriage? And most of them have helped out us in solving out some of these challenges of high teenage pregnancy. Female ladies are now over-consuming drugs more than the men, you people. It's happening everywhere. You find young girls are now and have. The last one goes to the youth leader. Arua City done, sincerely speaking, for the past 2 years in ensuring that there's peace in Arua. Burned heads have been crushed with stones in this city. And then it's my first time to hear that this passes up to the...
It is 11 minutes past 2. And I asked how they were feeling. They said they were hungry. So I am really requesting from 9 a.m. According to protocol, let us allow the serve first. Our lunch is served in that hub. And in the elders have served, we shall have for the whole day. Okay? We have our lunch and then
Embroidery and screen printing, all crafted with precision, passion, and durability. Your story, because your brand deserves the best. Visit us today at Plot 35, Third House, Rhino Camp.
Your ultimate advertising destination. Get 50 available on YOTV, Afro Mobile, and Host Media. Event broadcasting, streaming service, social media marketing, publication on Daily West.
Premium
rooms and suite amenities to ensure a restful and rejuvenating age conference facilities that are sure to impress your guests. From intimate board meetings to large-scale conferences, our versatile spaces and professional staff will ensure your event is a resounding success. Dive into a world of relaxation and bliss at our magnificent swimming pool. Bask in the great culinary masterpiece, making your time with us truly unforgettable.
Looking for top quality uniforms, corporate wear with precision, passion and durability you can trust at West Nile Garment. Every state tells you story best. Visit us today at Pro 35, Tad's House, Rhino Camp Road, or call 0392 548 308. West Nile Garment and Printing.
Get 50% discount. Social media marketing, publication on dailywestnile.in.
Where luxury meets convenience. Embrace your guests. From intimate board to resounding success. Dive into a world of relaxation. You lounge by the water or take a refreshing dip. Our poolside oasis offers the perfect escape where you can unwind and